The Classify tool in SpatialXL, which is situated here in the Spatial ribbon, allows you to classify or return values for a point layer, such as customers, from an area layer, such as a shapefile on population census boundaries. We'll use these two layers in our example. We'll firstly have a look at the census data by right-clicking and selecting View Data. And in here, we can view the data linked to the shapefile and decide on which columns we want to assign to our customer point data in the spreadsheet. In our example, we'll return the subplace code and subplace name for the census boundaries. The subplace code is the unique ID, and the subplace name is the name of each of the subplaces in our shapefile. We'll also return some further information on population and demographics. For example, we'll return whether the area is in an urban or rural area. We can also return some information, for example, on age groups, and some income or LSM data to return which LSM group our customer data sits in. So our first step is to go to our Excel spreadsheet and at the end of our data range to add the column headings that we want returned here. So firstly, we want to add our subplace code, our subplace name, and then we'll add information on urban and rural areas, age groups, and we'll add some LSM data. Once you've added your column headings, you can then select these columns here, and then we'll click on the Classify button. This will bring up the Classify box, and firstly we'll leave the default set as using layers. This means that you will classify your data based on a layer in your layer control. The worksheet is grayed out here. This is because we are working off the customer sheet and we have already set up our columns here, so the software knows that we are working with our customer spreadsheet. In our case, we are working with all of our data in our spreadsheet, but you can also work with only selected data that you have in your spreadsheet as well by ticking this on here. And in the layers list here, we'll choose our census subplace boundaries by ticking them on here. Here in the sheet column field, you'll see the columns that we're going to be adding our data to. And in the Classify column, we will select the columns from the shapefile that we want returned. So if we click here for column AA, we want to return the subplace code. For column AB, the subplace name. For column AC, the urban and rural data, which is this column here. Column AD, the age groupings. And for column AE, we want to return data on the LSMs. And once you've selected the columns you want to return to your spreadsheet, you can click Classify. And this will update your spreadsheet. And this, in our example, has returned information for each of the customers in our spreadsheet. And it has assigned the subplace code, subplace name, and demographic data that we have selected to each one of our customers. The Classify tool links your point data using the coordinates to the area it is situated in on the map. So if we zoom in, for example, all the points in this particular area here will have been assigned to this subplace. If you have missing data returned in your Classify, this will be because you do not have coordinate data for some of your points, or your points are sitting outside of your boundary. There may be some points outside here, for example, that would not be assigned to any subplace data. To ensure that you get accurate results from your Classify exercise, it is always important to make sure that your coordinate data, your longitude and your latitude values, are accurate to ensure that they are linked and assigned to the correct boundaries.